Here's your daily hat trick. We've hit day 12 at the Women's World Cup in France. Brazil and Australia looking to book their places in the knockout stage. The U.S. men kick off their Gold Cup campaign tonight. We'll preview the match and talk the state of U.S. soccer with Jermaine Jones. And our PSG ready to part with Neymar? Post to Post starts now. Hey everybody! Hey! Welcome into this edition of Post to Post. It is Tuesday and it is a football-filled Tuesday. The football season really hasn't come to an end, has it? Because we've just had constant football since the Champions League final. It's been fantastic. And great to have you guys along. Send in your comments and send in your questions because we have a very special guest joining us to kick off this edition of Post to Post. The U.S. men's national team begin their Gold Cup campaign tonight against Guyana. It's their first competitive match since they were eliminated from World Cup 2018 against Trinidad and Tobago, qualifying, I should say, at that point. Midfielder Jermaine Jones is a guy who has been part of the U.S. men's national team setup, played in the Bundesliga, played in the Premier League, played in the Champions League, played in Major League Soccer. He's done it all, and we're happy to have him with us right now. Jermaine, welcome to the program.
Thank you, guys. Thank you for having me.
Hey, let's start by asking you, how excited are you for the USA's opening match of the Gold Cup tonight versus Guyana?
Yeah, I think we're all excited, right? Well, we will see what they did, how they prepared themselves, and we saw some good games, we saw some bad games in the preparing with the new coach, with Craig Berhalter. Now that's the first big one where they have to show up, and it's Gold Cup, and yeah, so we will see what happens.
Those two disappointing results in the friendly lead-ups, obviously not giving a lot of confidence to layman U.S. men's national team, let's say. What are you expecting to see from this team tonight?
I would like to see special playing against a smaller country. I think I want to see how dominant we can be. We have a young group. We have a couple guys now playing overseas in Europe. So, I think now with the new coach, I want to see a difference to that. What happened under Bruce Arena, where we missed the World Cup. We had a big boom in this country, especially in soccer, and now it's a showtime. Now we have to see what Craig Berhalter changed, and that's the first big game.
So with the disappointment of not making it to the World Cup in 2018, and the fact that this program has undergone a lot of changes since then, what is the benchmark for this particular tournament? In terms of what you want to see, how far does the U.S. need to get for you?
It's pretty easy. The U.S. has to be in the final. That's how easy it is. Gold Cup is Gold Cup. It's a nice tournament, but we always know that we're the favor with Mexico, and at the end we have to go to the final. That's how easy it is.
How important is this tournament for you in terms of salvaging some pride and some confidence for the players on this U.S. team?
I think it's in general. I think when I played it, it's always a pleasure, and I think for everyone who can wear the jersey of his own country and represent the country, and it would be not easy. I think we saw it against Trinidad in the qualification games for the World Cup that if you're not concentrate, you can lose. We saw that in the Gold Cup against Jamaica where we lost, and now it's a new beginning. We start new with the young group, and still some veterans in there, and This game tonight is just we have to show up, and especially Craig Berhalter is on the line to show the difference what he brought into this team.
So in terms of, let's say that I'm a person who's not necessarily familiar with the U.S. program, maybe I'm just coming into it. How would you describe the state of U.S. soccer to me?
I would say if you see this young group, there's a lot of new players, but a lot of young guys, and they bring, I think, a different flavor into this whole group. And I think we saw it already the last 2 years with Christian Pulisic, with a young guy what he can bring in, what a difference he can do. And I think now with all the young guys now, it's I think we can be excited, and I hope that we don't be disappointed tonight.
Jermaine, the U.S. women's national team is, of course, doing the job over in France at the Women's World Cup. They handled Thailand no problem, took care of Chile. They have Sweden one more game to go, which should be probably one of their toughest games of the tournament so far. I'd arguably say that. Back here, they are in a lawsuit against U.S. soccer as they try to level the playing field. As someone who has benefited from the U.S. soccer program throughout your career, what are your thoughts on the U.S. women's fight for parity in terms of the men and the women's pay structure?
You know, I don't want to say too much about all that stuff. We had this already. We had a big fight between men and girls in back in the days, and I think U.S. Soccer made it clear. You know, they stepped out and they said it once pretty clear, and they said the difference between men and girls. It sounds bad, but if you shut down the men team, there's no U.S. Soccer anymore. So I think we appreciate the women's. We know that they're what they're doing, and I think they have to get paid and they have to be respected for that what they're doing. But I think it's a big difference still between men and women's soccer, and you can see it just with the numbers alone. And but I think they have the right to step out and say we want to get more appreciated for that what we're doing, because we are holding this country up in women's soccer and we're winning trophies. I'm 100% behind them. But putting you on the same line or putting you in the same situation with the men's team, I don't know if it's the right decision, because I don't know. I'm sure there's not other country where it's the same. You know, that you can say in Brazil. I don't think the Brazil team plays good, and they're getting not the same payment like the men's team or the German team. The German girls team is a good team too, but they're not getting the paychecks like the men. So there's a difference, and I think we still have to respect the girls, and that's important.
It's certainly something that's been an ongoing situation throughout women's soccer around the world. We're seeing these fights not just taking part in the United States, but taking part with a number of the confederations over the course of the development of the game around the world. Jermaine, I wanted to ask you, I mentioned off the top that you played in the Bundesliga, you played in the Premier League, you played in the Champions League, played in Major League Soccer. This spring you took on a new challenge and played indoor soccer. What was that experience like for you?
You know, I was retired and I was good. I had a good time with the family and everything. But then somebody reached out and asked me if I want to come play indoor. And I said, let me come out and train and let me see how it is. And I went out there to Ontario, to the Fury, and start playing. And it reminded me on back in the days where you played a 5-against-5, 6-against-6 on the streets with your boys in front of your house, you know. So I really enjoyed it. And in the moment I stepped on this turf field, in the small field, I told the guys, I said, let's go figure out something. I want to come back and I want to play. And I think I still have it in me. There was some stuff indoor where I said, like, it's just fun and I really enjoy it. And so I made it. And I'm looking forward. We're still discussing and we're going back and forth between me and Fury to see if I come back for the new season. And let's see what's comes out. And I'm open. You know, I still feel I can play. And I stepped away from outdoor playing because I wanted to focus on my coaching license and all that. But I would say I still have the fire in me now. Indoor is good. In maybe the next step is then coaching outside.
Jermaine, how did you have to adjust your game to play indoor soccer?
I think it's more up here in your head. You know, it's at the end. It's just it's the same game. It's soccer, right? And we try to score goals. We have a ball, and you have people defend, and you have people to attack. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think you can see the moment I stepped on the field over there. In the games I played, I think I played 4 or 5 games, 10 goals and 8 assists. It showed that I adapted pretty early and pretty quick to this game. And but it's a game. I love the game, and I love to play it with my kids outside on the fields. And it's the same if it's play outside or I played it in an indoor stadium.
And when can we expect to see Jermaine Jones on the touchline as a coach?
Yeah, I've been working behind the scenes the whole time now, and I finished up my US Soccer B license. I have now my UEFA B and A license, and now I'm ready. I'm just waiting and see what's coming up. And I have already a group together who will assist me if there's an opportunity to go somewhere. And I said it. I looking forward, and I would love to do it in MLS and help to make the next step with younger players and show that what exactly you said. I played in Germany, I played in England, Turkey, played for German national team, American national team, Champions League. So there's not a lot of American players really that have that background. And so I have just to wait and have to be patient and wait to somebody really give me the trust to do it. But I'm ready.
Yes, Jermaine, one of the commenters in our Facebook here did correct me and say, hey, he played at Besiktas too. Don't be forgetting that he played in Turkey.
Yeah, that's right.
Jermaine, it's been great talking to you. Thanks so much for joining us. Enjoy the game tonight. Go USA.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Have a good one.
All right, Jermaine Jones joining us via Skype here on this edition of Post to Post. Great to have him along, and great to chat with him about the state of U.S. soccer. And obviously, he's a guy who's personally invested in what's certainly going to be going on with the U.S. men's national team tonight and throughout the Gold Cup tournament. Okay, let's just quickly recap what happened at the Women's World Cup. It is day 12, and there were a couple of games on show this afternoon. Brazil taking on Italy, and Brazil needing only a draw to get through, but Marta made sure that they got the goal that they needed in the 74th minute from the penalty spot as they advance past Italy 1-0. Italy already booked their place. One of the surprise packages at the Women's World Cup for sure, Italy, and Brazil will now join them in the knockout stages. And the other match had Australia taking on Jamaica. Interesting stat about this going into this game is Australia had never beaten a team from CONCACAF at the Women's World Cup. That streak ended today as they win 4-1. Sam Kerr, who has been dynamite coming into the tournament, scored all 4 of the Matildas' goals. I won't repeat what she said after the last win when they came back and beat Brazil, but safe to say she certainly has a chip on her shoulder, and she's certainly playing with a little bit of motivation, scoring all 4 goals today as they down Jamaica 4-1. Jamaica, I believe, the first team in Women's World Cup history to lose all 3 group games by 3 goals. So it is Australia moving on along with Italy and Brazil as day 12 of the Women's World Cup concludes. And that does it for pretty much the Women's World Cup results. There are Copa America games, of course, going on today. Bolivia taking on Peru tonight. Brazil will take on Venezuela. We're going to get some thoughts on that particular game coming up. And the other game at the Gold Cup today on day 4, we mentioned the U.S. taking on Guyana, but the other game has Panama taking on Trinidad and Tobago. Okay, Gino, do we get to some bold predictions? Oh, daily news. Okay, let's do that. We're bringing in Mike for that one? Is Mike coming in for the daily news, or am I doing the daily news? Yeah, Mike. All right, Mike, get in here. Come on. You're not Jermaine Jones, but we'll do it anyways. Hey, Mike. Thanks for joining us. I
wish I had Jermaine Jones' delightful dreads.
I was hoping I would get some questions from the audience here for Jermaine, but got nothing. Okay, wanted to talk to you about some of the stuff that's been going on in terms of transfer news on this day, and of course the big story, of course, is Neymar and what's going on with him and PSG. There is word that PSG. We know the story about PSG's president Nasser Khalifi has come out and said, "Look, if you're going to do the Hollywood show, you're going to try to be the big time Charlie. We don't got room for that. You're going to be out.
In Paris, they don't have room for that.
The door is there. You can go through it. We're interested in winning, and we want to build a team here." Yeah. What do you make of this situation with Neymar? Do you think that his days in Paris are numbered this summer?
I don't think it's just a statement for Neymar, though. I think it's like a blanket statement. One, that Griezmann, you're all right where you're at.
Okay.
Mbappe, getting Hollywood as hell, all right? Sitting courtside.
People thought he was coming to play.
Exactly, sitting courtside, going to the Nike campus and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, the Neymar situation, a known, guy. I don't think it really signals anything. I think it's basically just a blanket warning to everybody because he sees it's kind of getting out of control. Usually it'd be Thomas Tuchel that makes this kind of statement. But when it comes from the big boss, it tends to have more power. So I guess he felt he needed to say it, and there it was.
There are 2 possibilities here in terms of the reports that we're seeing, and a lot of the reports, they're coming out of Spain. So it's Barcelona will take him back for 112 million, but PSG want either one of or more of Samuel Umtiti, Ousmane Dembele, and Ivan Rakitic. 2 or 1 of those, or all 3 perhaps. Yeah. I don't know what Barca want to do. Yeah. And then the other report has Real Madrid in for Neymar. Neymar goes to Real Madrid, but then Real Madrid have to give up, it looks like Casemiro. PSG want Casemiro, but Isco's name's also being bandied about. But which team do you think, at this point in time, he'd be a better fit?
Look, man, news comes out of Spain, it's just as good as last week's lottery ticket, all right? It's worthless, all right? Basically, that's what it means. But if I mean, he kind of makes his own way as long as he's healthy. I don't really see that he has to go. The thing is, we talked about this earlier, right?
We did.
Everybody,
I made a lot of people very mad today.
Everybody, we want to see the MSN again. Messi, Suarez, Neymar. They're older, they're slower, they're more hurt. You know, you say it all the time. You can't go home again.
No, you can't go home again. I've tried.
That's a bad party. You know, that's a bad party. But at the same time, you know, Real Madrid is kind of getting their forward situation figured out. Would he be able to play with a Hazard? I mean, I guess if you play Messi, you can play with anybody.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I kind of like him at PSG, but he's going to be unsettled anywhere he goes. I do like the Casemiro for Isco swap, though. I like that.
Casemiro and Isco?
Yeah, for Neymar. And
Yep.
I think you got to put cash on top for that, though. You know, so.
Let's get to some of the comments, because, guys, I haven't hit the comments yet.
Casemiro and Isco are, like, not marketable at all. So.
Lots of great comments about having Jermaine Jones on. Great to have Jermaine with us. We weren't sure that was going to work.
Yeah, we weren't.
But it did work.
But you know what?
So, technology.
TV magic.
Bringing the world together.
There you go.
One Skype call at a time. PSG want Casemiro and cash for Neymar. No. Save your cash, says Chris.
I think that's kind of a bargain, to be honest.
Yep.
Yeah.
Brendan says, would love to see Jermaine coaching for FC Cincy.
They're doing all right.
Back to all black. Okay.
Yeah.
Mike, he's back to
That's right.
Oh no! This is a Navy.
It's a Navy.
This is a Navy.
Good try, though.
Yeah. But hey, man.
I get your point.
Yeah,
I get your
black
point.
is very slimming. Okay, it's good for camera.
Neymar back to
right.
Barcelona. Neymar to MLS. Chris,
Yeah.
a little bit of facetiousness there. Neymar is confused. He doesn't know what he wants, says Daniel. I don't think that's a bad point.
I know one thing he wants is a healthy ankle. That's the one thing that he wants.
Yeah.
But it's true. He might not know what he wants, but at the same time, I don't know.
Chirito, where were you at lunchtime today when I was getting eviscerated in the comments?
Yeah.
Neymar is good, but he's done.
done.
He went from a future Ballon d'Or to a drama.
He's had how many major injuries now?
Not major injuries, but he's become his own worst enemy.
Yeah,
is what I would
nagging
say about Neymar. He's got the niggling injuries, right? But I will give Neymar credit for this. The petulant side of him that we saw at the Copa America, that we saw at the World Cup, where he's rolling around and he's making a meal of everything, I don't see that much in his game anymore. I see him more playing football now.
Well, if that kind of criticism wasn't going to get him to stop doing it, I don't think anything was.
No, but I mean, let's be honest. He was an inch away from having his career ended.
Yeah.
You know? So I think that you don't see the petulant part of his game, but now it's the other things. Now it's the big-time Charlie stuff. It's the, I want to be the star of the team. I want to be the star of the show.
But that's why he left in the first place, remember?
No,
That's why he went to PSG.
No, exactly.
But the thing is, you're not going to be a one-man show at any club that's big, any club that's worth its salt.
Do you think that he needs to go back to Barcelona, not necessarily to go home again, but to reinvigorate his career?
Does it really need reinvigorate? When he plays, he's a game-changing player. It's just
Is he, though?
Yeah, and it's just they haven't really got to see him play. You know?
Well, I mean...
Do you remember the last game that he played? Probably unmemorable. You know?
No, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
exactly,
No,
yeah.
No, I don't. Yeah, it's not like he's going out there and scoring hat tricks and
all the time,
doing Messi stuff or doing Ronaldo things.
Maybe he's good to go back to Barcelona so he's shielded by the Messi thing.
Maybe.
You know, maybe that's what he needs. Get a little media attention off him because, if Barcelona doesn't do good, it's all Messi's fault.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Chris is all over the place here. He isn't worth any of what was just said. Sorry, but I wouldn't give up those players for Neymar. Ooh. Arturo says not for Isco. You and Ray Hudson. Ray Hudson will not be happy if Isco goes.
Overvaluing him.
No Neymar at Real. The guy's a problem. See, I think he's a better fit for Real at this point.
I think that he'd be under control more at Real.
I think he'd be a better fit for Real Madrid right now than Barcelona. Just based on what I've seen of him lately. He's the new Gareth Bale.
Hurt all the time. Oh, so now you give him two guys that are hurt all the time at Real. That worked out great.
Yeah. Awais is asking that question. What do you think? Neymar will go to Barcelona or Real Madrid? I mean, I'm really surprised if Barca would want to take him back because after he left, Barcelona said,
burned bridges.
We don't want to bring him back.
Yeah, burned bridges.
He's not coming back.
I would say
Hidalgo, I think, has the comment of the night.
Danny
Hidalgo, right underneath the what do you think Neymar will go to Barcelona or Real Madrid?
No, I got to go way down for that one.
That's the load.
It hasn't loaded
yet.
Yeah,
but I think Real Madrid have more pieces that they want gone. So I think it's easier for them to obtain a Neymar, because you can basically be like, look, this is what we have. You can take three out of 5, and we'll throw in like 20 million.
And Gabby and I this morning were crunching the numbers for Real, and they've got bucks to spend. They can bring in Pogba. They could probably bring in Pogba and Neymar and still be under FFP.
With unloading.
With unloading. I mean, they're going to unload some players. But even bringing in, I think, a Pogba and a Neymar, they can still be under FFP.
If they want to do it, they're going to get it done, right?
Yeah.
We can agree on that? Okay.
Yeah.
So
definitely an offer, Casemiro. Casemiro is a key player. Yeah, did you not allow Danny's comment through, Guille?
The thing about you guys that are championing this Casemiro thing is that you can find more Casemiros. You're not going to find a player like Neymar.
Neymar is a generational
Exactly.
talent.
You're going to find a lot of Casemiros. There's a lot of really good defenders with feet that can destroy people. That's cool. There's a lot of those.
Yeah.
A lot of Casemiros, a little bit of Neymars.
Okay, let's put a capper on that one, because that one will keep going. Yeah. I'm doing Sports Burst the rest of the week. So
yeah, you're going to keep that story going? Got tired of thinking about it now?
That one's going to just keep going. Let's get to some bold predictions. Gino, there we go. Gino's on it now. Well, I wasn't on it before. That was my fault before. So, okay, bold predictions. As mentioned, Copa America continuing tonight. It is Brazil taking on Venezuela. Hey, Coutinho looks pretty sharp for Brazil in the opening game. He scored the deuce, the brace, the double, whatever you want to call it. What do you think about Brazil versus Venezuela?
3-0 Brazil.
3-0.
3-1. 3-1.
Wait a minute. You think Venezuela is going to get a goal against Brazil?
One to save face at the end. 3-1.
Brazil allows a goal, or Venezuela gets a goal?
They get the goal at the end. It's like 93rd minute or 92nd minute, something like that. 3-1.
Okay.
3-1 Brazil.
Venezuela hasn't scored yet.
Yeah, but
they drew with Peru.
Yeah, but they beat Bolivia, and I figure eventually someone's going to score on Brazil.
I mean, I love Peru. Don't get me wrong.
It might be an own goal. I'm just saying it's going to be 3-1.
There we go.
I'm just saying it's going to be 3-1.
Venezuela doesn't score.
Yeah,
Brazil scores on themselves.
It could be, but it's going to be 3-1.
Yeah.
It's going to be 3-1.
Yeah.
They all count the same, Jeremy.
They
all count the same.
That's true. And I got to ask you about the U.S. men's national team versus Guyana tonight. What do you think that scoreline is going to be?
4-0.
I think they have to win by at least 4.
Yeah, exactly. 4-0. That's what I'm saying.
It has to be at least 4.
Yeah, 4-0.
For the U.S.
They're going to find a way to
13.
Yeah, I think they might be like, guys, 14. We look dumb. We look stupid. Let's do this. Yeah, 4-0. I'm going to say 4-0.
I think after what we saw in the friendlies leading up to it, that they have to win.
That's why I mean, if you go out there thinking you're going to lollygag it and 2-0's okay, that's probably not.
I agree with Jermaine, though. This is a team that needs to win the Gold Cup to salvage.
Yeah. Oh, of course.
To salvage things.
Just people like, you can't just forget about not making the World Cup in CONCACAF. You know what I mean? You just don't forget that.
Let me ask you this question. Do you think that CONCACAF teams have gotten better, or the U.S. has fallen to a level that allows the other teams to be competitive?
I think it's. I don't want to say it's fallen to a level. I think
falling is not the right word, but you know what I mean. The quality of the U.S. players is not.
But not because the U.S. players are bad. I think it's a culture thing, because we stay with the same thing that never works. We fall in love with players that aren't that great, and then it's because we always see the same guys called over and over again, because that's who the coach. These are my guys. It's like that my guys mentality.
Right.
And then you get this good old boys club of coaching and players. That's why we always talk about, we see retreads in the NFL all the time, right? Guys that have been fired, they go 3 wins, 4 seasons in a row, they still manage to get another job. It's because they know a guy who knows a guy who knows a guy. Now they're in office, and it's the same thing with the U.S. national team, right? Berhalter calls these guys because these are my guys. You know what I mean? These are his yes men, and they come, and then it's the same thing. There's no change of philosophy. We're still playing long balls. We try to out athletic teams. That's like the American thing, It's not that one thing where the guy was like, oh, just put Russell Westbrook on a team. It doesn't work like that, So I think that's what I think. It's a philosophical thing, and then I also think it's a little bit of, we always qualify anyway, so who cares? Yeah, okay, on a 5. Yeah.
Guys, what if the U.S. don't win today?
If the U.S. don't win, they are in crisis.
If the U.S.
We can officially say the U.S. is in crisis. Crisis corner will just be the U.S. The U.S. Sorry, that's my water bottle. Yeah. I didn't get to the crisis corner today. Neymar was in the crisis corner.
You know what happens if the U.S. don't win tonight? What time do the girls play? What time is the women's national team on? Let's go, USA! That's right.
No, but I honestly think...
Well, I'd rather watch the women
if they draw Guyana...
0-0?
Not even 0-0.
No, I think...
Let's say 1-1 or 2-2.
Look, listen, Guyana puts a goal in, it's a crisis. All right? You win 6-1, it's a crisis.
Really? Even if they get a goal.
World Cup doesn't have VAR.
Yeah, you gotta.
What if it's an own goal?
No, well, own goal, whatever. I'll give you the leeway a little bit of an own goal, but no, if you let Guyana put one in against you and it's like a golazo, you gotta forget it.
Yeah, and a lot of
Burn the
these,
whole thing
a
down.
lot of the predictions have the U.S. winning big and Brazil winning big over
Maria's
Venezuela.
waving to me. I was gonna wave back.
Yes. Just a reminder, the Africa Cup of Nations. Yes, there's more football coming. The Africa Cup of Nations starts on Friday here on beIN Sports. We are very proud to be your exclusive provider of it. We got the opening game between Egypt and Zimbabwe. Gary Bailey and I will take you through the opening ceremonies, and then I'll also be on the first game for you, so be sure to tune in for that. Sports Burst tomorrow at noon Eastern Time. I'll be on that with somebody. I'm not sure who my guest is
Might
tomorrow.
be me. I don't even know.
Really?
I don't know.
And then Post to Post back here tomorrow at 5:30 p.m. Eastern. Guys, thanks for your comments. Thanks for engaging with us. Thanks to Jermaine Jones for joining us.
Yeah, thank you, Jermaine.
See you tomorrow, guys.
Time to say goodbye.